Let's bring our good friend Bernard Hollywood Williams, Olympic gold medalist, host of Stay in Your Lane, on the line. Got a couple of Stay in Your Lane topics I want to go over with you. How you doing, Bernard?
I'm doing fantabulousism.
I love how he can take one word and have so many variations. Just one word and so many variations. I love it. All right, so first, we've been talking about the XFL today. Oliver Luck, who is the commissioner of the XFL. He's also the father of former NFL quarterback Andrew Luck. Talking about the prospect of Colin Kaepernick playing in the XFL, says Colin Kaepernick's salary demands were too high to play quarterback in the XFL. Said he demanded an exorbitant salary. On one hand, when Colin Kaepernick was in the NFL, he made over $40 million for playing 6 NFL seasons. Compare that to the average salary of an XFL player as just $55,000. Okay? So if Kaepernick wants to come into this league, he has got to significantly reduce his quote, or if the XFL wants to have a name like Colin Kaepernick, they've got to be willing to throw the money at him. However, they're trying to practice some fiscal responsibility, especially with what they just saw happen with the AAF and what happened with the XFL first time and things kind of going broke. Maybe fiscal responsibility is a good idea here. So, Bernard, let me ask you this. Who should stay in their lane? Should Colin Kaepernick take less money, or should the XFL offer more?
Man, that's a tough decision because if you know what you were worth, you know, people don't want to go past, you know, what they're worth. But at the same time, if you're never going to sign in the NFL and never get that opportunity again, then $55,000 is pretty good. So it depends on his future with the NFL. But if he's worth $40 million, then maybe he should come down to like $10 million. I don't know. But if he takes that $55,000, he's never going to be able to get back up to that $40 million in the NFL. So it just depends.
And that may be that's all that's on the table for him, because he just went through that workout and it kind of turned into a little bit of a fiasco and probably kind of sealed his fate as to ever having a future in the NFL. So the $40 million or the 6 years at $40 million, that may not be on the table for him. So maybe he does have to lower his standards a bit. And listen, if $55,000 is what's being offered to you, is that worth it to you?
Do you want to play or not?
Yeah, I mean, $55,000 is better than nothing. I'm pretty sure he got bills coming, you know?
Exactly. It's better than earning nothing. But at the same time, and I think this is kind of gets into the Pete Rose thing, I think you go ahead and let Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame to end the issue. Because Pete Rose, he kind of, I think, is benefiting off of every time he gets an opportunity, like what just happened with the Astros, to put his name out there in the news again. And while that may not eventually get him into the Hall of Fame, what it does do is it boosts his quote for autograph signings and different things like that.
I would believe that if he really wanted to get back in the league, in the NFL, that he would show, beside a workout, he would show the people are watching, right? Go out there and deal. Show that you have all the tools still and that you can throw the ball and make the reads and all that. And next thing you know, you get another NFL deal.
If he's as good as he says he is, or still is, he should be a men playing amongst boys in the XFL. Come into the XFL, torch the league, show everybody what you can still do,
right?
And somebody will come calling. Somebody will come calling.
Otherwise, you don't get a gig, right? But if you go out and show you still got it.
But what if he takes a knee in the XFL, right? And then his marketability grows, and he makes $55,000 is probably what he started, but with endorsements and other things, he may earn up to $40 million.
Mm-hmm. That would depend, I think, wholly on the reaction of the fans. Do the fans get behind him for taking the stance of taking a knee again, or is there backlash? If the fans jump behind him, then yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars will come calling because he'll sell tickets.
Yeah, next thing you know, he's the face of the league, and they're paying him a whole lot of money.
But if there's backlash,
so this is a tough one. I don't know if he should stay in this lane or not. I think whatever lane he takes is up to him. I'll go the political way. Like if he wants to continue to be what he's worth, then I can't be mad at that. But if he takes less money to really show his skills and to have a job and support his family, then I'm all for that too.
Hey, are you a football player? right? Is he a football player? You want to play football? This seems like your only shot. So let's
have ball will travel. I want to get to a Florida man story. A Florida man, does he need to stay in his own lane? Now, normally when we do a Florida man story, it usually involves some sort of stupid criminal. It's become kind of a common trend. Not today. Polk County. Not today. Not today.
Okay.
We have got a Florida man who I'm saying is not a stupid criminal. He was just a heartbeat away from being a genius criminal. I'm impressed.
What did he do?
I'm impressed.
What did he do?
Okay.
What did he do?
So let me tell you about Christian Moscow. Christian Moscow is from Volusia County, which I believe is kind of near Orlando. Is that right? Hemo, you're from that neck of the woods. Am I close? Oh, Daytona Beach. He's close to Daytona Beach. That's where Volusia County is. Forgive me. So Moscow, here's what he did: is he's facing a certain number of charges. It doesn't say what those charges were. Apparently, it was like threatening a witness, doing some scams and forgeries and things like that. So he's a forger. So what he does is he forges the identification for 2 state prosecutors. Okay?
Uh-oh.
He takes their identification, he's got their name, and he puts his picture on the little ID card and is able to make his forgery. He then goes to the Volusia County Courthouse and he tries to get rid of his charges by filing a no information document to try and drop the charges against himself, impersonating the state prosecutor.
But wouldn't the people in the courtroom probably know the state prosecutor?
The Volusia County Clerk of Court's office thought the document seemed suspicious and then contacted the state attorney's office. So that's how they figured out he wasn't who he says he was. It was a very observant clerk of court saying, "Wait a minute, I haven't seen this guy before." Almost got away with it though. I think he almost got away with it. Should he have stayed in his lane?
Yeah, he should have stayed in his lane.
Because now more charges. Now he's got more charges. But I like the effort.
He might get booked by the prosecutor he tried to imitate.
Yeah, really.
Bernard, we appreciate you joining us. We'll be back tomorrow for Robbie, Collin, and Hemo. Thanks again for being a part of the show.